Feed podcast brought to you by Inside Feed. James Frayne, Ben Travers, recapping all the week of sport and whatever else is going on. Frayne Train, how are you travelling?
I'm good. Festive season right in full swing. So what a great time of year.
We were struggling to find a time to do this tonight because I've been at a dinner. You've got dinners tomorrow night. It's just like alcohol left, right and centre. So hopefully it makes for some entertainment. But we'll see how we go. One thing that we're going to kick things off with tonight is our beloved Brisbane Heat, which you texted me today about and said that you wanted to have a bit of a conversation about the Heat. So talk to me about the Brisbane Heat, Frayne Train. What is going on?
Well, just a quick recap for the listeners if they didn't catch it. I don't even know if you call it like a choke. Like it's just an out and out capitulation. Like Heat posted 180. They had the Thunder 5 for 80 in the 11th over. So they needed 100 off the last 9. Pretty much like the batsmen that were in, Cutting and Sams. And then they just proceeded to bowl, and Ricky Ponting got stuck into them, and he's spot on the money. They just proceeded to bowl some of the worst 2020 bowling that you could imagine. Like there would have been club bowlers and lower grade bowlers just shaking their head. We're talking, waist high full tosses, just rubbish, just no variation. They batted well again, like Chris Lynn batted well again, but just, you got to wonder about the organisation. You got to wonder about the culture, the leadership, all that sort of thing, because it's, you'd forgive them if it was the first time, but this happened a few times last season, happened a few times the season before that. And they've just got the most spectacular ability to lose the unlosable.
I agree. I actually reckon they batted fairly. I think at about the 12th or 13th over, or maybe later, 14th, 15th, like Lynn was set. I forget who was in with him. I thought they'd get 200 or maybe knock 190 or something, and then they just didn't. And whether the Thunder bowled really well, like I just don't know what's going on there. Warney and Ponting, as you said, have been into Lenny for the tactics of it all. Oh, it was a nightmare because I actually backed him as well. So fuck me. But
I saw the Thunder at 860 at one stage, and I reckon they would have been more than that. I reckon they would have got up to they would have got up to $12, $13. I reckon. Easy.
Daniel Sam 65 off 25. Ben Lachlan is one of the best T20 bowlers that's ever lived, and he got absolutely sent to all parts of the field. I don't know. The thing about the Heat is here's my theory. Well, two parts maybe. They've got, I think, 8 home games coming up there's a heap of home games coming up. So they'll get some time at the Gabba. The other thing is that we'll get into this later, but Joe Burns might come back to the Heat, which I think might be a good thing for Burns with a bit of hit and giggle. So that will strengthen their batting lineup. But it's just, I don't know. You're right. There's something inherently wrong about the Heat. They just cannot win a game.
I just wouldn't have any confidence in them being able to defend. And it's happened in the past, 210, 220. Like I think they've got the record for conceding, the first, second and third highest, run chases, like successful run chases against them. So,
and I'm a massive Lynn fan. I'm all over Lynn sanity, but
he batted well. He's a freak. Like he's out and out the best BBL batsman. He's hit 156s, and the next best is 60 or 70 in the 80 in the comp. He's a freak, but it's just the bowling. It just every year.
It's horrendous.
Kills him.
Horrendous. Anyways, I don't know when the Heat play next. It's probably the next couple of days. Give them strength. The BBL, there's been a couple of results. I don't know if this is on the run sheet, but there's a couple of results there that are making it lead down that path of it's going to peter out. Like the Renegades barely got 10 the other night against whoever they played. I just hope there's not a lot of blowouts that go on, because if that happens, people will lose interest really quickly. So I'm just mindful of that. But I think the competition's going okay. I think the Hurricanes are playing right now. They'll probably be losing because I haven't even looked at the game tonight. But I think they're a little darky.
They're losing. The strikers are doing it pretty easy.
I mean, I can't pick my nose at the moment. So we thought the Scorchers. When do the Scorchers play next? That was our next tip. Who knows? I literally couldn't tip my hat at the moment, so we'll leave that go through the keeper. Frayne Train, really quickly. for all you keen listeners and viewers out there that have a lot of cash in the bank, we're currently Inside Feeds going through a little capital raise. We're just raising a bit of money to expand the content that we're doing. So we're linking up with a bunch of personalities and content creators around the country across a lot of different sports, be it AFL, NBA, horse racing, and we're going to bring them in under the Inside Feed banner. So we need a bit of cash to do that. So we're raising a bit of money at the moment. So if people are out there, they like the content, they like the cut of our jib, then get in touch with us via email. I think it's like insidefeed I think it's info@insidefeed.com.au, or just reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. We're getting our old Instagram account back too, which is fantastic. Thanks to Zanzar for shutting us down, those fuckheads. Story for another time. Little segue from Sansa to the Rugby World Cup draw, which was last night. The Wallabies have, drumroll please, drawn Fiji and Wales for something new. They'll be in Pool C. All going well. The Wallabies win that pool and they go through and play either probably the Pumas in the quarterfinals. How'd you make, or what was your take rather of the World Cup draw for the Wallabies, Frayne?
I actually watched it last night on Twitter, the actual ceremony.
You fucking loser.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'll see who Australia draws. Should have known it would have been copy paste from the last three draws or whatever they've done of it. But geez, they dragged it on. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here and drag on what was, but just like 45 minutes to do the ceremony. And the worst thing is, like, World Rugby need to sort this out. Half the teams aren't named yet because they haven't qualified. So you're drawing
that was a bit weird, wasn't it?
It's literally 12 have qualified and 8 are still to qualify. So they're drawing these pools out, and it's like Oceania qualifier winner 1, and you're just like, this is backyard. They need to put a bit of polish.
But that's going to be like fucking Uruguay or something, isn't it? Or who's that going to be? Like, not Oceania, but like the qualifiers are going to be,
Yeah, it's
Tonga.
So much water going to the bridge, Romania and Georgia and all that sort of jazz.
USA,
yeah. So, but no, I mean, the draw, you couldn't have asked for a better draw. Like, of those top 4 seeds of South Africa, England, New Zealand and Wales, to get out of the pool stage in seed number 1 and give yourself the opportunity to face a second tier, you would ask for Wales every single time.
Absolutely. There's people out there going, oh, we need a bit of a change from the last couple of years. It's like, how about you just shut the fuck up? We've just picked up Wales and Fiji. Like, I think we obviously beat Fiji pretty convincingly 2019, then lost to Wales in a pretty narrow game, which put us in the quarterfinal with England. I think if we can just reverse that result, then England presumably go through in Pool D. We play the Pumas, which based on results will be a draw. So I'm not sure what happens there. But no, I like the draw. It's a very fucking good draw. And we'll have the right team. There was an article up on our website today. We have a very good team, and we're 2.5 years away. So those players will only get better. The likes of like Bell in the front row, the back row, the Queensland Reds back row, pretty much of Wright, McWright, and Wilson. Tate McDermott, I think, needs to play a bit of time at 9. Centre pairing strong, and they might bring back people like Isaac Rodder and Samu Karevi, just to mention a few. So I'm very bullish about the Wallabies. They're paying $9 for those interested at the next World Cup.
Yeah, I echo those thoughts. I think bring it on. Bring on. 2.5 years to go.
Yeah, something that's not 2.5 years away, it's about 2.5 days away, is the first test at the Adelaide Oval, which will be a day-nighter on Thursday. So it's actually less than 2.5 days away. Joe Burns has been struggling to get the ball off the wicket lately. Seriously, I've scored more runs than Joe Burns in the backyard than he has in the last 6 months. Should he get picked Frayne Train? And if not, what's the solution?
He's in my team. He's in my team, and he's in there somewhat a little bit by default. I think if you've got a fit Warner and a fit Pekowski, he's making way for those two at the moment, given his current situation and his inability to sort of trouble the scorers all too much. But given he's the incumbent and given his recent test record and his overall test record, sort of nothing to sneeze at, I think he earns the opportunity to play the sort of, I think it's the first 2 tests or at least the first test before the sort of cavalry arrives. I don't, and I think the second point to that argument is I don't think any of the potential candidates that are being discussed, Wade, or I think Wade might be there with him opening, but bringing in a guy like Whiteman on debut, or potentially someone else left like Kawaja. Kawaja was in a similar boat to Burns earlier. Who are the others? Harris. You're not. There's no one that's just materially better. So I've got him in there, but I can see why people are saying you've got to try something else.
Yeah, I agree. He has to be picked. He's the incumbent. I think he averages about 38 in tests. There's blokes like Langer, Hayden, Slater. They all started their career, particularly at the top of the order, and had stop-start careers. Now, admittedly, Burns literally hasn't scored a fucking run in like 6 weeks, and maybe 20 in 6 months. But I just think you've got to give him the opportunity to lose the baggy green. So I think that's right. I think I'd say one test. I know that's pretty harsh, but I'd give him one test. If he's out and it's a fair dismissal and he fails both innings, if they get both innings, then he's gone. But you're right. What's the replacement? Matty Wade will probably open with him. Marcus Harris, like if there was someone knocking down the door, you'd put him in. But like Will Pukowski, but it's just not the case. So I think Burns will be picked. Cameron Green, Justin Langer has said will definitely play, and Marnus Labuschagne will bat 3, so he won't be opening, which basically makes it either a Wade Harris or Burns Harris opening partnership. So I think Burns deserves it, not through his form this summer, but I think he deserves it as the incumbent. We're always really quick to jump on these blokes that are fucking out of form and give them the arse. But I think, it would be a great story if Burns goes out to the Adelaide Oval, Australia bat first, and at like 9 o'clock tomorrow night or Thursday night rather, he's like 97 and just clips the pink ball off his pads for 4 and brings up 100. So let's hope that happens.
Bring it on. I hope he hits 100. Because that would be one of the great hundreds if he did.
Yeah, because failing that, he's fucked. So give him strength. But can't wait for the. I don't know what happens with the BBL during the test. I presume the BBL's still on. Not sure. Haven't looked at that.
Haven't looked.
Anyways, we do have a BBL preview on our website every day, and if the Hurricanes lose tonight, we're down about $70 in our bank. So I presume the Hurricanes are losing. Frayne Train, I'm not sure how much of an NBA fan you are, but the NBA is back. Preseason games are on, and then the first game of the season is next Wednesday morning Australian time. I think it's about 10 a.m. in Brisbane, and Kevin Durant has returned to the court and is looking fucking deadly for the Brooklyn Nets. I've had a little wager, long-range wager on the Lakers to repeat and win the championship. Are you at all across the NBA, or are you strictly?
I have a passing interest. My team is the Washington Wizards, so I haven't had much cause for celebration recently. But they've signed Russell Westbrook at the expense of John Wall, who's been injured for the best part of 18 months. So it could be an exciting year. Westbrook and Beal for the Wizards.
Westbrook Beal backcourt. I reckon you'll probably make the finals. No chance of winning the championship, but I think what we'll do through the Inside Feed Punters Club, which obviously the other podcast we do during on Thursdays and gets published Fridays, is we'll do sort of multis every day on the NBA. So we'll try and find some winners there. But NBA returning is so sick. Boxing Day. Is it Boxing Day or Christmas Day? Do we get? No, I think it's Boxing Day. Boxing Day in Australia, we get like 6 games because they play them Christmas Day in America. So you get sort of cricket one screen, NBA the other. It's fucking sick.
And the horse racing on Boxing Day, because Boxing Day is a Saturday, so it's all all bloody happening on Boxing Day
Oh,
here.
yeah, that's going to be vicious. Get your play-up accounts loaded. Freight train, I think that's almost it. Well, I mean, next week will be. I mean, you and I will just be probably not available to do podcasting, so we'll probably not do a podcast next week, and we'll sail off into the sunset for 2020. We do have some ginormous plans for 2021, which I alluded to a little bit before with our capital raising that we're doing. But I think we're maybe 4 or 5 episodes down on the feed podcast. We might do a little montage of our best moments at some point. Which
is it? Yeah. Has what a lot of we've said been turned out to be right, or are we,
I
or are we
don't
just going to
know.
look like gooses?
Certainly not on the Punters Club podcast. That hasn't been the case for me. You've been a little bit better than me, but we do get one more chance on Thursday to redeem ourselves, which will be published Friday. So look out for that one. But no, we will be doing a lot more podcasting across the Inside Feed network, let's call it. This feed podcast will be the mainstay of what we do, but we'll have we've already got an NBA podcast, which is going great guns with Pete and the team. And we've got our Punters Club podcast, which we're actually looking for more people to probably be the talent for, because I cannot fucking tip a winner.
I'm not far behind you.
No, I think you're good to stay. I think I'm fucked. But we want to do a lot more, and we're doing a lot of video content come the new year as well. So this is a little sign off for 2020 potentially, but 2021 will be massive. Frayne will be on a massive wage to be part of the Inside Feed network in 2021. So it's full steam ahead, but we do have a lot of exciting plans, and it's going to be a bloody good year. Other than that, Frano, I don't think there's much else for us to
one thing before we go, who wins the first test? Between Australia.
I think India. Oh,
really?
Yeah, for sure. I actually
Geez.
think I'll just get the odds up now. Not that our listeners on the feed podcast are necessarily punters, but I thought Coley's obviously playing this test. He'll be keen to get a win before he jets off to be a father. 276 India to beat Australia, $1.75. Haven't checked the weather. If there was any weather, I'd go the draw at $7.80. I presume there's not, because it's a big price for the draw. But obviously the Australian bowling lineup is very good, but the Indian batting lineup is equally very good. And I just think that top order of Australia is brittle, and I think the Indians will win.
This is huge. That's huge, Trav. I actually think Australia are like just such a moral. Okay. They've just got the best arguably the best 4 pink ball bowlers in the world. Their stats with the pink ball are ridiculous, and I just think they'll take 20 wickets and score more runs, which is obviously
that's how you win.
Obviously, how you win a game. But that is what they're going to do.
Story checks out. That story checks out. Look, I hope you're wrong. Oh, actually, no, I hope you're right. I won't back the Indians because I would never bet against Australia. But I mean, Australia $1.75. I mean, yeah, Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne. I get it. I just think, there's fragility in the top order. Travis Head will bat 5, I presume. Yeah. Cam Green on debut. Yeah, he's a very good cricketer, but he's on debut. I think the Indians are a very good bet. So I'll happily.
Toss will be huge.
Massive.
The toss will be huge.
Massive. I think I looked at the pitch today. It was on social media. I didn't go down there, and it looked like it would be a run fest. So if you win the toss, you'll bat, mate. Pujara's a wall. Pujara will just bat all day. Kohli will get 4,000. I like the Indians, but I've been wrong many times before, and that's a real theme of what we've been discussing.
Should be a good game. Either way, it'll be a good game.
Absolutely. Frano, plans for the holidays? What do you and the beautiful bride get up to?
Mate, not much. Seeing all the sort of family over the Christmas, and then heading down to see some of my wife Sophie's mates for New Year's down in Sydney. So that's the 30th to the 2nd. What about yourself, Trav?
A lot of golf. A lot of golf. I think.
What courses? Any courses locked in?
None that haven't paid us. No. Capera next Monday in Brisbane, and then Pacific Harbour a couple of days. And then I haven't squared away what I'm doing post-Christmas in terms of the golf courses, but I'm playing a couple of days. So probably a couple down the Gold Coast, I'd say. It's just an absolute golf fest. Yeah. That's what we do.
Nice.
So if we're not here next week, which we probably won't be because you and I will probably both be on the piss, we will reconvene in 2021, and we are going bigger and better, and we'll have a full studio and all sorts of things going on, which will be awesome. So, Frano, have a lovely Christmas, and we'll see you then.
You too, Trav. Merry Christmas, and to all the listeners.
All thousands of them.